On behalf of Cofense and CARAHCAST, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, focused around bridging the gaps of cybersecurity, how high-fidelity threat intelligence can help agencies prioritize and combat phishing, where Cofense's Keith Abarguin and Joseph Gallup, alongside Nikhil Gupta from CARAHCAST, discuss how the importance of aligning cybersecurity priorities is even more critical than ever to winning the war against phishing.
I want to talk a little bit about the world trends, right? And that's always a good place to start with any conversation, right? What are some of the things that we're observing today, right? How are the world events today attributing to some of these phishing threats in the landscape? And of course, how does the executive order from President Biden reflect that, right? What are you seeing in your expertise?
Sure. Thank you for that question. One of the things that both Joe and I come to this conversation with is a really strong focus around how best can we take the intelligence that we have. I mean, I've got an intelligence background, as does Joe, and apply that most effectively to the challenges that we see in the world. And, one of my biggest roles as the chief product officer is to take a look at that external environment, look at what's going on in the world, what's going on in technology, what's going on in threat evolution, and how do we stay on top of that, ahead of that. And so, I started here at Cofense in 2018, which was, a little bit before COVID hit, but it wasn't too much long after that we did fall right into COVID. And I think it had a dramatic impact on a lot of things, not just cybersecurity, of course. But, one of the big impacts that we saw in both the commercial sector as well as in the public sector is this strong pivot to the cloud. There was always this sort of effort there that's been going on for quite some time, but the Zoom generation, if you will, really accelerated that. We found ourselves at home. We found ourselves leveraging our own home infrastructures. Traffic profiles were different across the globe. The usage of products that we were seeing at home intersected with the stuff we were doing at work. So that changed the landscape. And I think it changed the nature of, not the methods necessarily of our tradecraft per se, but it had a lot to do with the content around threat intelligence. And I know Joe will get into that, but combining all of that along with the even greater emergence and reliance on social media that we've been seeing, the mis and disinformation that comes through those channels, it's very difficult to understand where truth lies.